Then you have so many religions, and these religions are all claiming that we are from that creator, and that creator have ascribed to you this specific purpose, right? So Islam is one of those major religions in the world, and what I would say is that you should investigate these different religions with an objective criteria, right? So when you read it, have you read any other scriptures?
A bit of the Bible.
A bit of the Bible, just a little bit, yeah? So what do you think about what you've read?
I think it's the message of love and...
Okay. Have you read the Old Testament or the New Testament? Which one?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Because there is love here and there is no love here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that the message of love is universal in all religions, and that I believe in. But the other stuff,
Okay.
you know.
But do you know there is a very, very beautiful verse in the Quran? It says, do you believe in parts of the book and disbelieve in others?
Yeah.
And this is actually addressing the Jews and the Christians. So he's saying if I believe in a creator, then I'm ought to follow whatever that creator ascribes. I have to be consistent, right? I cannot say I believe in God, but I will take this part of what God says, and whatever God says here, I don't like, right? So either it is from God or it is not from God. You agree with me, right? So you'd say, you agree or you disagree?
I think you could take something that you think is true and some other thing that you don't think is...
Yeah, of course. So based on what do you determine, you as a human being, as a subjective human, like myself that would be ignorant, we don't know everything, right?
Yeah.
So how me as a subjective human being that doesn't know everything would be able to determine what is true or what is good in order for me to take and leave the rest? So what is your criteria to know what is good and bad? Your society? Sorry?
It's functionality.
What do you mean by that?
Like,
Are you talking about utility?
yes.
Okay. So something is good because it does...
Something is good because it helps you. Like, there is no good or bad. It's aesthetics.
Okay. So now you're talking atheism, right? Because there's something called nihilism. No, I'll explain what I mean. There's something called nihilism, which is if you don't have a creator or a scripture, you're bound to believe in subjective morality, which would mean there is no morality, as you said.
Because I say aestheticism. Because I say aesthetics is like a feeling that you get that this is fine. I don't like this so much. Like.
So are you the only one who has that feeling, or does everyone else have the same feeling? Everyone. So why do we disagree on laws?
You don't.
We don't disagree on laws?
You don't disagree on laws. Like,
every country has its own laws and has its own...
Nobody cares actually about laws. Like,
what do you think about drinking alcohol? I'll give you an example. What do you think about drinking alcohol?
if you want to drink,
No, but is it good or bad? You're just talking about morality.
No. I didn't talk about morality. I talk about...
No, I'm asking, is it good or bad?
I don't care about morality.
You don't care. But do you agree there is morality, whether we care or not?
No.
So there is immorality. So if I eat my baby on breakfast, that's not really a bad thing to do. If I rape a woman, that's not bad.
I say that however bad a sentence sound, in another context, it could be good.
Eating your baby in breakfast, in what context would be good? If you're a spider and you eat your baby, but we're not spiders, we're talking about human beings. In what context eating my baby in breakfast is good? No context, right?
No. Like, there can always be a context because it's fantasy. Like, you could say whatever you want. You could say that your baby will spawn 1,000 Hitlers if you don't eat it that way exactly. We can make a scenario here.
Give me a scenario.
No.
Eating my baby in breakfast.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I'm really interested to know in which scenario would it be good.
What?
In which scenario would it be okay? I'm not trying. By the way, look, I'm not trying to trap you. I'm trying to make you understand that what you're saying does not make sense objectively, right?
Like you have to eat it for breakfast because if you don't, you have a terminal disease that you'll die, and for some reason you know that this baby is going to be...
Even if I'm gonna die, it does not justify eating a baby.
Really bad. Like if your
can you imagine the feeling of killing a baby, an infant?
If your baby was Hitler and Stalin combined, and the only
What was he?
If your baby
How would you know that?
it's not about what I'm trying to say is not about how would you know this.
Don't you believe you should have the right of just trial, even if you're going to end up to be installing? If we know that, shouldn't we have a way in trying to help that individual to not grow up to become that thing, rather than eating the baby?
He's not stalling. He has a terminal disease that is spreading around, and the only.
So why would I eat him?
Because you don't have any other way of cleansing his body. I'm giving you the scenario.
Cleansing his body by eating him.
Yes, if you bury it, the worms will eat it, and then they will become cursed. So the only thing you have to do is you have to eat it.
Look, what's your name?
Nick.
Nick. Okay, look, Nick. Let me tell you this. Ignore all of this. Ignore all of this like fairy tale scenario that you brought forward. I'm saying, if this was not the case, normally, if I decide to eat my own baby, is that good or bad?
Statistical reasons are not reasons.
Sorry?
Statistical truths are not actual truths.
I'm not talking about statistics. I'm saying in a normal situation where you don't have that scenario that you.
There's no normal situation.
So there's no situation where it does not.
Every situation is really distinct, so you cannot predetermine.
Okay, let me give you an example. Right now, if you go and beat up a lady, an old lady walking by, so just walking by and you just decide to beat her up. This is a scenario I'm giving you. Is that action you did bad or good?
I don't know. It depends on the lady.
Depends on the lady.
Situation. Really depends on the situation. Like most of the times, it would be bad. Most of the times, like almost all of the times, it would be really bad.
Oh no! So you agree with bad now? So you believe in bad?
Bad is a word. It helps us.
Of course, it's a word that has a meaning.
As I started saying in the beginning, good or bad are utilitarians. So, bad.
So me wiping off half of China because there is not enough space for the other half. That's a good utility. Does that make it good? These are the problems with what you're talking about.
Did it and people still think he's good.
No, do you think it's good? Wiping off half of the population?
No, but there are.
Why? Why do you think it's not good?
Because I thought it was stupid, actually.
Because what?
It was stupid.
Why? Why is it bad?
No.
So it's not bad.
I believe it's bad. I'm trying.
Why?
Because it's stupid.
Why is it stupid?
Why Mao Zedong is stupid?
They have a justification, rational justification. They say we don't have enough space. There's so many human beings. We want to get rid of half of them in order for us to keep. So they would argue this is not stupid. It's actually genius. So based on your worldview, why is that action bad? If you follow utility and you believe that utility equals good or bad, you would have to accept. By the way, these are problems.
Why do we?
Or let's say rational problems.
What we're trying to find is what is the cause that is moving us.
No, that's not what we're trying to understand whether there's objective or subjective morality, and how do we determine whether
why do we care if it's subjective or objective?
We care because this is how we function as human beings. Before doing an action, I have to determine.
It's your drive. It's what gives you drive, right?
It's not about drive. It's about understanding rationally as a human being. Before doing a specific action, is it good or bad? If I don't have morality, then me pushing you right now or me harming this person is equal to me being good to him.
Why do you want to do something?
Sorry?
Why do you want to do something?
I'm giving a hypothetical example. I'm saying if there is no morality.
Out of what is it that sparks you to do something? Before you judge if it's good or bad, you have to have a motive. You have to have.
Before you make any action, you have to determine whether it's good or bad. Before she came here today, I'm sure you had this idea whether it was good or bad to come here. Before we have this discussion, you're trying to think, is it good or bad? I'm actually thinking right now, is it good or bad to have this discussion?
Where does want spawn from?
Sorry?
Where does your need, your want to
for me, being human, my instincts are God given by the Creator. They're within me, and they are the ones that drive me to move and make actions. So that's the answer to your question.
Yeah, have fun.
No, but still, you have my answer.
Have fun doing that.
Okay, sure. So what I was trying to make the point I'm trying to make is this, right? If there is no objective morality, life becomes absurd, which is why what I was trying to demonstrate to you is that you eating your baby in your breakfast or you have an intercourse with your own mother becomes a normal thing because there is no right or wrong, right? And that's the problem today with liberalism and the Western society. Things have changed. Like if you go back 50 years ago or 80 years ago, right? Things which were right or wrong completely changed today because of this idea that there is no really right or wrong. So I can do whatever I want to do to whoever I want to do. But what we say as Muslims, it has to be objective morality. It doesn't come from my opinion, because I can be wrong and you can be right, you can be right, I can be wrong. It doesn't come from us who are limited human beings. We say it has to come from the source of goodness, the one who created us. If I made this bottle, wouldn't you agree that I would know about this bottle more than any other human being? Because I made it, right? So we say if the creator created us, he would know more than anyone what is good and beneficial for us and what is bad and what is harmful for us. So why when you create something, you give a manual, and within that manual you say, okay, don't do this or do that, to preserve that thing or to do good to it, right? So we say the Quran is equivalent to that manual that you give when you create something.
How do you say?
Quran. There is a Arabic letter that will be hard to say, which is qaf. Quran. It will be hard to say because you don't have it in English.
I am not English.
Yes.
Like English.
You're Spanish? Where are you from? Italian? Greek. Okay. Sure. So even in Greek you don't have that letter as well.
You have like 4 X's.
Okay. Kha is different than qaf. So in Arabic it's very, Arabic is a very exotic language, right? There is a lot of, I would say, letters that they don't exist in other languages, That would be very unique.
Greek as well.
Greek is a very interesting language.
Yeah, that was a great conversation.
Yes, so give the Quran a read. Give the Quran, I'll let you guys go, no problem. Give it a read and understand that we believe in one creator. Yeah, no problem. That we believe in one creator that created us. That creator is the one who gives us purpose, because it makes sense when you create something, you give it purpose. And within the Quran, there is the good, what to do, which is good, and bad, what to avoid. And this life is a test. Whether you will do the good and avoid the evil, or be like Satan and do the evil that the creator told you not to do, right? It's as simple as that. It's a very basic idea. So read the Quran. If you have any questions, please come back.
You have to trust that God knows it all.
It's not trust. It's looking at the universe is evidence for that. When I see a universe that is full of power and full of intelligence, you need to be something beyond comprehension to create the universe. So I know that the creator is like that. It's not just that I trust him.
Look that God created everything, every living creature. It makes sense that He would know everything.
Absolutely. If we are very, very small within this universe, we're nothing. In comparison to this vast, magnificent universe that has laws and planets and stars and galaxies, whatever created that would know what is best for me without a doubt, right? So it's not a faith, it's a reality, we would say. We know that the creator knows better than us.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but it's so difficult because we were made many years ago, kind of being like animals. And now
How do you know that?
science.
Where does science agree, have consensus upon this idea? You're talking about evolution, theory of evolution, right? Now, theory of evolution is not something that is agreed upon by every scientist on Earth. There's a group of scientists that are called creationists, right? There's a group of people who try to harmonize between religion and evolution. And there's a group of people who are hard materialistics who believe in the theory of evolution. So us, as humans, we don't believe that man evolved from a common ancestry with monkey and he was a fish and he started. We don't believe that. In fact, I would say to believe in that is just like believing in a fairy tale. But for example, let me ask you this: how did the first creation or the first entity or the first cell come into existence? According to evolution, even it's called abiogenesis.
Yeah, if you go back this way,
How did we have the first?
No one knows.
That's the point. No, but they believe there was a thunder that hit the sea and billions of years started becoming a cell all of a sudden, and that cell started multiply and then becoming a fish. That is so ridiculous to believe, I would say. If you compare it with any other kind of worldview, it would be very ridiculous to believe that, right? But still people believe it because just someone called, as you said, it's called the scientist told them about it. We, as Muslims, we're very skeptical. We would look at the evidences, right? We would try to see whether something is true or false based on its evidences, not based on what people tell us. Does that make sense?
the book is written by people.
Which book?
All the books are written by people.
No, there's a difference between writing something and it being authored by the creator. So we're talking about authorship. I can write something that a genius told me about. Do you agree?
Yeah.
That does not take away from the fact that this work is genius, because the one who told me to write is the genius, right? So we're talking about the authorship. The book is authored by the creator, so it's irrelevant whether it's written by the creator or not.
That wrote the Quran were instructed by God.
The people who wrote the Quran were instructed by the Prophet who told them exactly the words of the creator.
Which one was that prophet?
We believe Prophet Muhammad is the last and final messenger.
Yes.
But we also believe in the other prophets. So we believe in Jesus, Moses, Noah, and Abraham. But we believe Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the last one in the line of these messengers. Peace be upon them all, right?
It's
But
about communication with the Creator.
yeah, so the Creator sent Angel Gabriel who told Prophet Muhammad exactly the word. Prophet Muhammad even communicated with the Creator directly as well.
Yes.
That's hard to digest as
That's why we try to take things step by step. First, we have the step that whether there is a creator or not, that it's rational there is a creator. Second step is that we investigate the scripture, and if there's objective evidence that it is from the creator, then based on that objective evidence, we would believe whether Prophet Muhammad did that or not. So if Prophet Muhammad came and he gave me evidence that he's a messenger of God, if I believe he's a messenger of God, that's more greater than just believing whether he spoke to God or not. Do you agree what I'm trying to say, right? So we say that Prophet Muhammad and the Quran has so much evidence that would demonstrate that this is from God, that is objective. Like for example, Prophet Muhammad spoke about the future that we're living in today. And he spoke about it 1,400 years before. And nothing that he said did not happen. So if he said X will happen, X will happen, right? For example, Prophet Muhammad said you will see the barefoot Bedouin Arabs competing. The Bedouin Arabs, Bedouins are Arabs who live in the desert. He said you will see the barefoot Bedouin Arabs competing in building the tallest buildings. What is the tallest building in the world today? Burj Khalifa in Dubai. So he said the Bedouin Arabs, do you know Dubai was a desert 50 years ago? Why did it change? Discovered oil. The money came from oil, right? Prophet Muhammad said the earth will puke its treasures and money will become abundant within you. So he didn't only say that those Bedouin Arabs would be competing in building the tallest buildings in the world. He said the reason why they would be doing it. Prophet Muhammad named the countries that Islam will enter. And when he was naming these countries, he was being attacked by people in his society. He didn't know if he's going to live tomorrow or not. And he was saying, look, Islam will enter into what we call today Yemen, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Constantinople, Turkey, India, Pakistan. He said you will overcome the Roman and Persian Empire. Can you imagine few Arabs with no techniques, with nothing, overcoming the Roman and Persian Empire? And this is what happened. Muslims defeated the Roman and Persian Empire. In fact, one of the military leaders of the Muslims, Khalid ibn al-Walid, defeated an army that both the Roman and Persian Empire came together to fight the Muslims and they lost. Can you imagine the two biggest empires in the world losing against Muslims, right? So Prophet Muhammad made so many predictions. For example, the Prophet spoke about the deserts of Arabia. He said you will see the deserts of Arabia becoming green again. Which means he's saying two things, that they were green in the past, which is what Nature magazine is saying, and they will be green in the future, which is what's happening today, according to NASA. So how would Prophet Muhammad know what's happened?
In the infinity of the future, every possibility is going to...
But he's talking about the past and the future, both.
We have to go.
Yeah, I'll let you go. I'm sorry, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. It was nice talking to you. And read the Quran.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, read the Quran. If you have any questions, please come back, Nice talking to you. Sorry to take too much of your time. No, it's okay. There's no problem. There's no problem. See you guys. Thank you.
قال يا عشيرتي جميعكم حتى ابنتي لا أغني عنكم فاعبدوا إلهكم ووحدوا.
إذا أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والتعليق، ولكي يصلك كل جديد اشترك الآن.